and whoops. Okay, that was a lamp. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am back after a long-ish break because I was busy getting married. What? But yeah, basically I got married in February and I've been taking a minute to essentially breathe because the past more than 6, maybe almost 10 months has been busy with the wedding planning, getting married, and just, relaxing after the whole chaos of the wedding. So, and obviously in the meantime, I've been busy working as well with all the animated shots that have been coming out every now and then. So yeah, it's taken me a minute to actually sit down and make this video. But I'm back and I'm here with 10 tips based on my experience as to how to smoothly plan a wedding in maybe not so many months. And I only had 6 months to plan my wedding. So if you or someone who you know has very limited time or is just in general looking for some useful advice, then wait no further. To give some context, I had 2 ceremonies and I had a pre-wedding event, I had a reception, the whole shebang. So it was a lot to do across a span of just 2 days. And we started planning just 6 months before the wedding. And as you can rightly imagine, it was chaos central. But we managed to pull through with the help of family, friends, and so on. And honestly, when I look back at it, it was such a beautiful, enjoyable, wonderful wedding. I couldn't have asked for anything better. And yeah, so honestly, I would love to share some really useful tips that helped pull this wedding through, and I really hope that they will help you as well. Tip number 1 would be to lock your venue first. So I was visiting India in September and we decided to go look for venues at that time, and thankfully we found one that really aligned with what we were looking for, and we got dates in February and we decided to go ahead and book it right away because venues were getting filled up like I don't know. So you really need to be booking your venue first so that you can make all your decisions that follow based on that. So obviously, since we had our venue fixed, we were able to make travel plans accordingly. We started looking into accommodation accordingly in and around the area and so forth. Our venue thankfully came with a decorator / event planner. So we were able to, club that with the whole venue deal. And honestly, logistically it made things a little more easier because we didn't have to find another decorator to take charge of the venue and so on. But for the pre-wedding event, we had the event happen in a different venue, and we obviously had to go and look for a different decorator, which turned out to be fine because we relied on family referrals and other trusted sources to find someone who aligned with what we were looking for, and it turned out fine. Tip number 2. If you do not have a wedding planner, rely on a close-knit circle of friends and family to plan your wedding smoothly. Now, in our case, we did not have a wedding planner. We relied purely on friends and family to have a smooth wedding. In order to do so, we sort of assigned tasks roughly to people. So our friends were in charge of sorting out the pre-wedding event. They went about choreographing dances, made a whole event plan, they hosted the event. They also brilliantly hosted the reception as well. And all they did was ask what we wanted, and we had some mandates and they went above and beyond to make sure that the entire event happened so smoothly. They even had games and surprise dances and whatnot planned. Our family was also part of this, and they also surprised us left, right, and center, and we just had the most amazing time. With respect to the wedding and logistics revolving around travel and accommodation and so on, our parents obviously took charge of that, and our family who was on ground made sure that they were able to see everything, vet everything, make sure everything was happening at the right time, and so that happened pretty smoothly. I was vested in invitations and decoration and so on, so obviously I took charge of that, and my husband and I took a keen interest in making sure that the photography team was aligned with what we were looking for, so again we took care of that. So in general, we very roughly assigned roles to key parties to ensure that everything was happening smoothly, so that we weren't really missing a wedding planner as such, especially when we had not many months to go compared to, usual weddings where people do take a year or so to plan. So especially if you don't have much time to go and you're panicking, thinking, oh no, I'm late, don't worry, you can really, really have a great wedding happen in not so much time. Tip number 3. Keep an intimate celebration if you can. Now, I know that in many weddings, this is not actually an option, but thankfully for us, we were able to execute this. We really wanted a close-knit circle for our wedding. We wanted our close friends, our close family members for our wedding, and we really, really had such a beautiful time. We were able to enjoy our wedding with them. They were all part of it. They were so involved in it, especially our friends. They got to be part of ceremonies and whatnot. It was just, such a beautiful thing to have. And obviously our families also, they were actually able to interact with and speak to family members that came from elsewhere. And usually when you go to some weddings, especially when there are a lot of people, it's not really necessary that you'll actually be able to interact with and, speak to everyone. So having the luxury of being able to have a small wedding really, really helped in doing so, because we were able to be present and be involved with our loved ones to a much, much greater capacity. And so if you really, really do have the option, I highly recommend it. Please go for an intimate celebration. If you can, you will not regret it. Tip number 4, do not leave travel and accommodation for the last minute. So all our events were in the same area but in 2 different locations, about 1.5 hours away from each other. So we made sure that travel and accommodation was taken care of right from the get-go, not just for us but obviously for all our guests as well. And we ensured that the accommodation was close to the venue in order to avoid any transport related issues or any logistical issues as such, and it honestly made our work so much more easier. And I would highly recommend getting a local family member or trusted source to check on local accommodation or homestays when it comes to bulk bookings, especially to make things easier and smooth on ground. Tip number 5, spreadsheets will save your soul. Now, I cannot stress about how important a role spreadsheets played in my case. And the funny thing is that while I'm an overthinker and I have all these thoughts floating around in my head, I am very, very chaotic. My mind is supremely chaotic. The way I function is very, very chaotic. So I had been warned plenty by my friends based on their own wedding experiences that spreadsheets will really come in handy. And I would have crumbled into pieces if I did not have some spreadsheets, So we had our guest lists on spreadsheets. We had transportation details, accommodation details, menu related stuff, different vendor related things. There were so many things on spreadsheets, and not just that. Obviously, I was in the UK. My parents were in India. My husband's family was elsewhere. My friends were scattered all around the place. So having spreadsheets which people could access and edit and view accordingly was so important, not just leading up to the wedding, but during the wedding as well. So I cannot stress on this enough. Please, if you are getting married soon, please rely on spreadsheets. They will be a lifesaver. And this is coming from a highly, highly chaotic person. Listen to me, please. It's so helpful. You must go for it. Tip number 6, have pre-wedding events that reflect your vibe. So in our case, we combined 2 ceremonies. We had a Mehendi plus Madhuram Vepa ceremony, and we turned it into a mini Sangeet of sorts. Obviously, we had the Mehendi Madhuram Vepa formalities in the beginning of the function, and post that we had all our group dances with our friends and family, and then we had surprise dancers from our friends and family. We had games and so on, and honestly, we had such a good time. Obviously, before the event itself, we had such a great time practicing all these dances, and it was just pure comedy. Chai. Biscuit. But truly, we had, the most amazing time spending, this evening with our close ones. And, looking back, it was such a joyous evening. And obviously, even though I was knackered after the event and I had only 2 hours of sleep before I had to get ready for the wedding, I had the best time of my life. And if I had to do it all over again with the same person, I would definitely do it the same. Also, a mini tip is give your friends or your cousins or whoever it is who you trust, as much freedom as possible to plan your pre-wedding events based on your liking. Obviously, if your family is also, in cahoots with this idea. But it will really make for such a smooth, stress-free experience, because honestly that is what I did. In our case, I'm horrible when it comes to dancing, so I very strategically gave all the dancing related duties to my close friends, who pulled it off, like, hats off. They just like, oof, I can't even like stress how well they did it. And we had so many performances. I can't believe that I danced so much. I can't believe my husband danced so much. I can't believe my brother danced so much. I can't believe my parents danced on stage. But yeah, and his parents. And oh my god, it was crazy. We pulled off a lot, and we couldn't have done that without our close friends. And obviously our family also surprised us, with their performances and everything. And so yeah, I would say, while you might have the urge to micromanage, if you can give a little responsibility to people who you trust, it will honestly make a world of difference. And getting nicely surprised is an added advantage too. Tip number 7: choose outfits that are suited to your liking. Because at the end of the day, when you look back at your pictures, you should feel happy when you look back at it. You should feel like, oh my god, I love what I'm wearing. This is so me. It shouldn't be because someone else told you to wear, or someone else pressured you to wear. Again, I say all this with the disclaimer that I understand that different situations work out differently for people. So whatever is possible within your limits, please take my advice accordingly. But this is what I would recommend, and in my case, I shopped for my wedding gown from UK, and the whole travel bit with the dress was really nerve-wracking for me, but we managed it. And as soon as I landed in India, we shopped for my lehengas the day after I landed, immediately. Jet lag, what? And we also shopped for my entire family on the same day as well. And the only thing that I was missing out on was my sari. And I was not getting what I wanted, but because I was looking for something simple, a red look, something I could wear again. And wherever I went for wedding saris, I was getting hit with, these gold on your face prints. And while that might suit a lot of other people and their likings, it was just not what I was looking for. But I finally managed to find something that I fell in love with. And again, it ticked all my boxes and I was so happy with it. So yeah, looking back at my wedding outfit options, I am so happy with everything that we got. And yeah, so honestly, you should be able to feel the same too. So yeah, that's a big one to look after: your clothes. And also, this is one more tip that was given by my friend, and that is having a mood board of sorts would really help when it comes to going shopping. Because if you have all these ideas in your head and you go, you might get a little confused, and I don't know, it might end up taking a lot more time than it might actually need when it comes to shopping. So having some number of images collated together to ensure that you can go and show it to whoever is helping you out with the shopping bit would really help your case. Tip number 8, and this is an often overlooked one. Please make a list of small, miscellaneous, but really important items. And I cannot stress how important this was for me, because if it was just me, I would have completely not thought about any of this, and I would have had a very difficult time during my wedding. But thankfully, one of my really close friends who got married in August, was a lifesaver and gave me a list of items to order off Amazon. And these were all small miscellaneous items that you won't really think would make a difference, but it makes so much of a difference in, making you feel better during the wedding. And these are things like those earlobe patches and body tape, sweat pads, etc, things that you might not even think about, but when the wedding is actually happening, you will tend to feel uncomfortable because these things are missing. So honestly, I will highly recommend this. Please make a list of non-negotiable items that will help make your wedding experience so much more smoother. And this is not just if you're a bride, but also if you're an attendee, a close friend, whoever it is. In general, if you're going for an important event, this list of random miscellaneous items is so helpful, and I cannot recommend it enough. Tip number 9, finding the right vendors. Now, this is so important because obviously this makes the whole frame of your wedding. You have vendors scattered across every single part of your wedding, and you need to find the right ones in order to make sure that you enjoy your wedding as well as your loved ones. So naturally, like I mentioned in the beginning, we had assigned certain roles to different people. So my husband and I, we found a photographer team who we liked. Our family was in charge of sorting out transport, accommodation, and so on. And thankfully, we went with caterers who we had previously worked with. So, there were no issues with respect to that. We just fine-tuned the menu to cater to our guests' liking. And with respect to makeup, and I cannot stress how important makeup is. Obviously, you all know how important makeup is, but I did not really know what to look for or what to tell or ask someone when it came to looking for makeup artists. And again, my friends came here, in clutch time to help me out with this. And also another unfortunate thing was it was really hard to find a good makeup artist in my locality, but thankfully we found someone who ticked all the boxes. We wanted someone who would give a very natural nice look, not something that would make me look like someone else on my wedding day. So that was really important to me, and thankfully I found someone who ticked all those boxes, and I was so happy with all my wedding looks. And I was also able to find a really nice mehendi artist as well. I made sure that all these vendors were taken care of, at least 3 to 4 months before the wedding, so that I wouldn't end up panicking too much closer to the wedding. And obviously, like I said, the decor was part of the venue itself, but the decor for the pre-wedding event was separate because the venue for the pre-wedding event was different from the wedding. And thankfully, again, with the help of family referrals and trusted sources, we were able to find a decorator who managed to be able to take up the brief that we were giving, and everything turned out really well, and we were very happy. So yeah, finding the right vendors is so important, and this should be obviously one of the main things that you do right from the get-go. Tip number 10, and this is so important, but expect for something to go wrong during the wedding, and that's fine. Now, in my case, the only thing that I can think of that went wrong during the wedding, not even technically wrong, it was just, mildly chaotic, was that the wedding ring went missing for maybe half an hour or so. Again, the idea of time during my wedding is completely lost on me. But yeah, it was missing. We didn't know where the ring was, and we were all but thankfully it was just an issue of miscommunication. It was perfectly safe, it was all fine, and yeah, we got it in the end, and it was all fine. But the key thing is, I was mildly concerned that the ring was missing. Obviously, we knew that we would find it at the end of the day, so there was no real qualms about it. But the main thing is that overall, if I went to zoom into everything and look into certain things, oh no, these are not the flowers I asked for, or oh no, that is not the song I asked for, there would be so many things to be unhappy about. Honestly, I'm not unhappy about anything. But that's it. I did not go to zoom into anything. I was having such a great time because honestly, everything went as well as it could. And if you have that mentality where you can, obviously, yeah, everyone has deal breakers. There are certain things that should not happen. But yeah, if there are certain small things that go wrong, just brush it under the carpet. It's just one small tiny blip, in that beautiful, amazing time that you're going to have. So just shove it under the rug and have an amazing time, because honestly, there'll be so many things that'll be happening at the same time. And I've been told this so many times by so many different people. it's gonna like disappear in a flash. You're not gonna remember or be able to remember things. It's gonna happen so fast. So embrace the moment that you're in. Be happy, enjoy, have a good time. Even if you are tired, knackered, have slept only for 2 hours, it's fine. You're gonna have a great time, because honestly, we also took the decision to have the pre-wedding event and 2 weddings and a reception all in 2 days, and it was so intense, but we were mentally prepared for it, and we had so much fun. So, you know, just relax. You'll have the time of your life, and obviously rely on your close friends and family to be there for you. In my case, my husband was there whenever I was having a mini meltdown about clothes or decor. My close friends were there, ensuring that they were emotional CPRs. They were also planning so many things in the background and helping us out with so many different little things and big things. And I certainly wouldn't have been able to get into so many of my outfits if not for my friends. And our families, they were dealing with so many things in the background, and I'm sure they did not let us on everything in order to ensure that our mental health was all right. So yeah, do rely on your close circle to help your wedding planning experience as smooth as possible and have a beautiful, amazing wedding. So you can plan a wedding in 6 months. You don't need an unlimited budget or 2-3 wedding planners. All you need is a clear vision, some solid spreadsheets, and people who love you enough to choreograph 10-15 dances. Okay, that's all I have for today. And if you have any more wedding related questions or doubts, anything I can help with, please let me know in the comments, and I would love to make more videos to answer any questions you may have. So I'll see you later. Bye.